Hey, it's Sean from Open Pantry Co, and this is the Prep List. This is episode 2 of the location series. Last episode, we talked about location as a promise and how the real job is making sure your venue still matches the place it's in. This episode, it's about the moment before that, the decision most operators make with a mix of gut feel, excitement, and a spreadsheet that's more hopeful than honest, the lease. Because once you sign, most of your location decisions are already made. So the real question is, what do you actually need to know before you do? The trend we're seeing right now is rent catching up to revenue. For a lot of operators, the lease that looked tight but manageable 2 to 3 years ago is now genuinely painful. Some of that is cost of doing business creep, wages, goods, energy, insurance, all of which you already know. But some of that is more specific pattern worth naming. Landlords locked in rent reviews based on the last cycle of hospitality growth. Those reviews are now hitting venues whose revenues has plateaued or softened. And the gap between the rent your lease promises and the revenue your venue produces is the tightest margin squeeze we're seeing on P&Ls right now. Which means the lease decision isn't just a property decision anymore. It's a financial resilience decision. The venues handling this pressure best aren't the ones with the cheapest locations. They're the ones who understood going in what their rent to revenue ratio would need to be and negotiated accordingly. So here's the tool. It's a pre-lease checklist that you can run before you sign any lease. Question 1. What's the realistic rent to revenue ratio? Not the best case, realistic. In hospitality, anything sustainable above 8 to 10% is going to put pressure on every other ingredient in the business. Question 2. What are the review terms? And what do they assume about the market? A fixed annual increase locked in for 4 to 5% looks fine in a strong market. It looks very different in a flat one. Question 3. What is the fit-out reality? Not just the CapEx, the time, permits, approvals, trades, delays. Every extra month pre-opening is a month of rent with no revenue. Question 4. What's the exit strategy? Assignment clauses, make good obligations, personal guarantees. The end of a lease matters as much as the start, and most operators don't read it properly until they need to. If you can answer those 4 questions clearly before you sign, you're in a better position than most. The operator move for this episode. So if you're currently running a venue, pull out your lease and actually read it. Not skim it, read it. Know your next review date. Know your make good terms. Know what you'd owe if you walked out tomorrow. Know what assignment looks like if you wanted to sell. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about operational awareness. Because the most expensive decisions in hospitality aren't the ones you make badly. They're the ones you make without knowing what they actually cost. The question for your leadership team in this episode. If we were signing this lease today, with everything we know now, would we still sign it? That's not a regret question, but a clarity one. The answer tells you a lot about what to protect, what to renegotiate, and what to plan around. Before we wrap up, the lease decision is one of the places we spend the most time in our pantry review, because location isn't just where you are, it's what you're paying for the right to be there, and when the economics behind that still work. If you want another set of eyes on the math before your next review, reach out to us via our email below in our show notes. The next episode will move from strategic to operational, because in every right location, most venues leave room on the table just by how they use their space they're in. Thanks for listening, and as always, that's your prep list.